Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli. Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, and locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're broadcasting from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains, 2 hours today. And there's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com. John is engineering the broadcast at GCN. And if you'd like to call us, call screen is ready. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Ethan Indigo Smith is with us, and we're going to be talking about the matrix of 4. Welcome, Ethan.
How are you, Vincent?
Ethan, very, very well. It's great to hear your voice. So, idiots, zealots, elitists, and patriots. The four wise monkeys of modern society.
Actually, to explain this idea, I like to start with Gandhi. And he was really what I embody or imagine embodying all these attributes, characteristics of patriotism. Because when I think of patriotism, I don't think of this nationalistic, cliched, ignorant, jingoistic, warmongering, cliche kind of thing that we have with patriotism today. I think of Gandhi, and Gandhi was a man who had his only possessions were his spectacles and clothing, as the story goes. And then he had one other little trinket set that was given to him by these Chinese philosophers that he inspired to come visit him. And they gave him these ivory wise monkeys. And they only gave him 3. And they gave him the hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. And usually the wise monkey adage, there's only 3 presented. But Carl Jung said many times, where there is 3, there is a 4th. And actually, Om is one of the oldest, not to get too esoteric, Om is one of the oldest kind of depictions of this 3 and then the unsaid 4th. In Om, there's the sounds A-U-M and then silence. And so in the wise monkey adage, there's the 3 monkeys, and then there's what is often the unsaid 4th, which is do no evil or fear no evil. And Gandhi really took on the institutional oligarchical collectivism of his day that had controlled all of South Asia for, centuries and really took over that area harshly. And he approached them with a peaceful, powerful presentation, and they completely fell apart. And so that is what I think of as patriot, like Gandhi.
Mm-hmm. It seems that the more I talk with our instructors on the air and off the air, the comments that keep appearing are that, there are more people who are starting to understand, and there are more people who are waking up. But there are so many people who just are not paying attention. What do you think? Is it, you've been traveling, are you seeing the same thing?
Well, to my pleasant surprise, and maybe it was just how I presented myself and the places that I went, I really found that people were quite conscious of what is going on, and many had quite nuanced understandings of what I come to call this oligarchical collectivism that is ruling the world. And to simplify, I mean, that's essentially fascism. That's these institutions coming together and presenting a landscape, social and political landscape, that makes things difficult for individuals, and even virtually, not necessarily overtly, but covertly enslaves us and keeps us down. And the constant war world is something outwardly controlling, but it's also inwardly controlling, in the sense that the United States isn't the actual field of war, but it keeps us all kind of downtrodden and keeps us from really ascending to where we could be, and really without direction. The United States is doing pretty good, but we're actually now, the direction has been is a covert kind of corporate construct where we accept this war economy. And so, yeah, there's a lot of idiots and zealots and elitists out there, but a lot of conscious patriots, so to speak, too.
Mm-hmm. And the idiots, the zealots, the elitists, they all have their dangers, don't they?
Yeah. Well, and I like to, Thomas Edison had quite a neat little construct. He said that 5% of the people think, 10% of the people think they think, and 85% would rather die than think. And so we have to really inspire the 85% to think. There's the elitists that they may think, and they think materialistically and only in the tangible, and largely only in economic terms. Actually, you can see that Donald Trump is like the epitome of an elitist, right? Or one type of an elitist. And so we have to inspire the idiots and zealots, the people that ignore information, and the people that only accept information that correlates with their preconceptions. We have to inspire the idiots and the zealots to be patriotic, to accept information and share it with everyone. And
how about those who just parrot information? For example, there's a guy on the radio who says that he can do his broadcast with one half of his brain tied behind his back. Now, I can't do that. I mean, I'm looking for more brain power rather than less. I can't do it with half a brain. And I'm thinking that the people who parrot what he says might just be parroting half a brain's worth.
Well, yeah, if we're not, if you're not becoming into your own self-individuation, if you're listening to others and just adopting what they say, which largely is diluted and watered down what someone else said, then you're not being yourself. And you and I mentioned this yesterday. That kind of exemplifies exactly zealotry, right? Where you only listen to someone who's absolutely aligned with your modality, and they're even saying it, or he's even saying it, that he has to literally half think to do that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, and I'm wondering what happens around the water cooler if we talk at the water, at the water cooler anymore, and when we go to our jobs. I don't know because I haven't had one since 1989, but I'm wondering if the discussion is something like, "Hey, did you hear what our leader said?" And I'm not talking about Barry. I'm talking about our leader, the guy who can broadcast with half of his brain tied behind his back. Did you hear what we're supposed to think today? And that's great because that's what we all do. We think just as he says. And I'm wondering how many people just do that. And when they're done with that, maybe they talk about the guys running around on the ball field with short pants. Who scored. How many points they got, who's winning, who's losing, their status. I mean, it seems to me that Thomas Edison was exactly right, that people just do not want to think. They just want to zone out and put their brains in park. Really.
I think a lot of this goes back to training that we're under. And so we don't like to admit that, but maybe we are being set up under constructs where we're not thinking. And you can see it if you look at children. They often, at a very young age, already have learned by inference that to be intelligent is not cool. And where do they get this? And so this, I think, leads into the Hegelian dialectic, right? Which actually inspired the Matrix 4. In the Hegelian dialectic, there's a triad, right? There's thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, right? And so someone presents an idea, and if you agree with them, then you're, okay, yeah, that's my idea leader, so that's on the side that I'm on. And if you disagree with them, then you have a almost opposite idea, right? You can see this in Democratic and Republican operations. They're constantly yes and no, right? Mm-hmm. Black and white. And then they'll come up with the synthesis, which is, okay, an agreement between the two that largely eliminates any benefit for the individual. Let's the healthcare situation, right? They started off where, yeah, everyone should get healthcare, but no, now because of this mix of synthesis, there's everyone has to have insurance.
Ethan Indigo Smith's with us, and if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Ethan Indigo Smith, you can go to usaprepares.com, click on the instructors tab. You can go to usaprepares.com, click on page 1, and there's a link that'll take you right to his books on amazon.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to dollardownfall.com. Again, that's dollardownfall.com.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Ethan Indigo Smith's with us. Ethan, there's an image on the website, wakeup-world.com, and it talks about an image of Sarah Palin. She's wrapped in a flag, and she has a Christian cross in her hand. And there's an image, and it says that there's the institutional suppression of the fourth monkey. That would be the patriot. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, on the more esoteric level, it's the presentation of the three rather than the fourth, right? And to what I was just saying about the Hegelian dialectic, there's this presentation of thesis, antithesis, synthesis, and that's it. But actually, where there's the unsaid fourth is where the real juice is. And what I call that in respect to that triad is analysis. So when the energy institutions say, well, we've either have to have nuclear or coal and oil. That's our only two options. Or a mix of the two if you really want to, okay, we'll do that. No, well, actually, analysis, none of that, right? And so analysis really is where the power to overcome and exit this Hegelian dialectic that kind of controls and steers is. And the suppression of the patriot, I think, and that fourth type of this political archetype, we see on a day-to-day basis. You can see how the idea of patriot has been totally steered away from my definition, which is one who loves locals, land, and liberty, to this gun-ho, warmongering, even ignorant presentation of what a lot of people consider patriotism now. It's almost like a stigma. right? And so if you look at the definition of patriot, you'll see the word love, and you'll see individual. And so that's the First Amendment actually really embodies this disappearing patriotic approach. And these people that are gung-ho about the Second Amendment and not the First necessarily are kind of embodying the characteristic that's misled, right? And so the Second Amendment is very important and backs up the First Amendment, and that's why it's second. But the First Amendment is distinct of all the other amendments because it's 5-part. And so it's known as the 5 freedoms of the First Amendment. And this is the way individuals empower themselves amongst institutions. And the original patriots, or the forefathers of this country, knew how to approach the oligarchical institutions of their day with that individual empowering amendment. And so the First Amendment is, like all the amendments, being belittled and washed aside. We're not teaching them. We're in our law field, we're belittling it, the police, etc. So you can see that this fourth archetype being put to the side in many different ways.
Ethan, when we look at 1984, how does that relate to today?
Great question. And you know what? On the immediate, most people don't get into, but immediately relating to what we were just discussing, the 3 and then the missing or elusive fourth. In 1984, there's 4 types of people in that fictional world. There's the trolls, which are like the idiots. And there's the inner party, which are like the elitists at the top of the pyramid, and there everything pays up. And there's the outer party, which are like the zealots. And then there's the brotherhood, which are like almost suggested, and you wonder if they're even real. And these are the patriots.
Tell you what, hold that thought. We're going into a commercial break. When we come back, let's talk more about 1984. The trolls, the inner party, the outer party, and the brotherhood. Ethan Indigo Smith. Link on the website, usaprepares.com, page 1.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with a medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAhHNow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the sacro wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trust has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.
Ethan Indigo Smith's with us. And Ethan, we've got Chris in Colorado joining us. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Vincent. Hi, Ethan.
Steve, thanks for calling. Chris, how you doing?
Good. Hey, I've got a great example of the Galilean dialectic that I experienced out here in Colorado, and then after that, I have a question for you, Ethan.
Cool.
They're doing the fracking out here in Colorado. And so the John Birch Society had a meeting about fracking. And I thought, wow, that's going to be an interesting deal, see what their take on it is. And the guy that presented, I'm convinced, was a representative of Big Oil, because we got there and first he talked for like an hour about real truther stuff. The Rothschilds run the banks, blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of truther stuff. So he could get the Birchers all on the same page. Like we're talking truth here, And then he presented his Hegelian objective of, you have two choices. We can either frack, or we have to use those windmills that the liberals are trying to give us. Okay. And he went on and on saying, no, Hegelian dialectic, those are the only two choices. Take one or the other, like Democrat, Republican, And at the end of the lecture, I blew him away because I said, wait a minute, sir, what about growing industrial hemp? And we don't need either of those. And it kind of blew away his whole deal, And the only comeback he could come, because I shocked the hell out of him, it like blew away his whole objective. And the only comeback he could come up with was, if hemp oil could run our economy, they would have thought about it already. Therefore, it's not a legitimate option. So it was kind of funny.
That's just those are just amazing observations, and I actually spent quite a bit of time in Colorado, and even attended the Boulder Sovereign Group, who was trying to make Boulder County laws supersede Colorado state laws and federal laws in order to get the frackers out of Boulder County. And so they're actually taking this from Mendocino County that's trying to do the same thing, Mendocino, California, where I graduated high school. And that's a great observation. They always present that here's the X, and then try to get people on their side to present and slip through this Y that benefits their institutional programming. So those are fantastic observations. And it really is telling, too. Rudolf Diesel, of course, designed his engines to run on biofuel. Hemp and peanut were exceptionally oily agricultural products back then, and so he was thinking hemp and peanut, and they were easily grown, and so to even call his engines diesel engines kind of like insult, because he wanted localization rather than globalization.
Chris, I've got a comment
Henry
for you.
Ford, the first Model T was designed to run on hemp too.
Right.
Chris, I have a comment for you.
Does it know that we can do that? Sorry, Vincent.
Okay. I was at a seminar put on by the U.S. Department of Agriculture several years ago, and it was a grass-growing seminar, cool season grasses, warm season grasses, and so forth. And it was an all-day seminar on which grasses grow and how to harvest them and so forth. And this was really for cattle farmers, of which I am one. And during this seminar, we had a lunch break, and this guy got up on stage and started talking about, this is a real problem. We've got this $40 fee for chipping each cow that we raise, and the government wants to charge us $40 per head, and that way they can track where these cows go to keep everybody safe. And then people said, in the audience, this is really getting expensive, $40 more per animal. And so the guy on the stage presents an alternative. Now, he's a government minion, right? He says, well, we could just do a $10 transfer fee every time we sell an animal, and that way we can track them. And the audience is, yeah, that's so much better than $40 one time. Okay. and I stood up and said, like, what's the matter with you guys? Have you lost your mind? We don't pay at all right now. And believe me, if I sell a cow that has a disease, the government will show up at my farm like now. So we don't have to worry about all this extra cost. And why would we do it? So as Chris Farnworth just brought up, we are presented with these choices, and people are easily led into them. So here's the answer. The answer is to think about what's happening. Watch what's happening to you in these meetings where this Hegelian dialectic is deployed, and say, no, and raise your voice so that it can be heard, and do exactly what Chris did. Good job, Chris.
Yeah, inspiring.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Neither choice.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it was so funny because he had dominated the atmosphere so well. I mean, I guarantee you they paid this guy at least $500 for this meeting because he's good. You know, he's really good. And he just was like running everybody's mind in the whole, meetup so well. And it was
Chris, how was he dressed?
Trying to blow it away right at the end, you know.
Chris, how was he dressed?
Real, like an insurance salesman kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So he wasn't dressed he was not dressed in a 3-piece suit or a $3,000 suit. He was dressed just like one cut above the average person was dressed there.
Well, he was definitely above everybody. He was, he had like a suit on kind of thing.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was using a power suit. Okay, what I've seen in the country, where there are a bunch of farmers, they've learned that even politicians will just, if a farmer wears a short sleeve shirt and blue jeans, a politician will come with khakis maybe and a long sleeve shirt, but no tie.
Right.
Okay,
right.
They don't want to appear to be too powerful and too controlling, and that's the way it's done here in the country. But so your guy had a suit on, he was wearing a power suit, and he was definitely letting everybody know that he's well educated and he knew his stuff.
Yeah, and even more importantly, he's presented as one of us fellow birchers, which gives him even more credibility within that specific group,
And that's exactly.
And he started out with an hour and a half of straight up truther talk that is undisputed. Anybody that knows anything about the world would, so he gets everybody on board, where they're blindly following his lead now,
Yep.
And then he presents the Hegelian dialectic, implying that if you're a truther like we all are here, obviously, we're all birchers, right? Then here's your choices. What a joke.
I like to say thank God for the First Amendment, right? Because you standing up and presenting a question, just a simple question, sometimes will rattle everyone's thinking. And that
one of the things I think happens, and I've seen this at a meeting with Joey Kyle, who was the sheriff of Christian County, Missouri. He got an MRAP, a mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle. And I was invited to be the MC of this particular event where he was going to showcase this. And in the news, the cameras were there, TV was there, and so forth. The plan for us was to find out what in the heck he's got this darn thing for. Why does he need a weapon of war in the county in Missouri? Bottom line was, it looked like the whole group of those attending the meeting are saying, why do you need this weapon of war? And then this one woman during the middle of the presentation says, well, Sheriff, will that keep us safe? Absolutely. And so now she's able, because of this safety issue, she's able to sway almost the entire group into thinking, boy, maybe we should get like 5 of these things, machine gun turrets on the top. And that would really keep us safe, because if we have an active shooter in a school situation, instead of having armed CCW holders who are already employees armed in the school as a deterrent, no, we'll have the cops come with weapons of war to escalate. So she was able to sway them. So this Hegelian dialectic really works well. And what we need to do is use these tools to our advantage to counter these guys.
Yeah, and the analysis is always where they don't know what to answer, right? You came up with analysis. Well, what about hemp oil? And that was out of their box, out of his construct of thinking and steering that he, mumbled and fumbled, right? Because it was the analysis. And that's where power is.
The next step, Chris, as I see this, as I think through what's happened, the next step is you saying, well, I'll tell you what, since you don't know about it, I'm going to come up there let me use the microphone. And then you teach about hemp oil and steal the presentation. Wouldn't that be cool?
There you go.
Yes, but he was way too, this guy was a pro. He was a pro. And there was no way he was going to allow that. And I thought it was hilarious because he was such a domineering character through the whole meetup that at the end, his only logic that he could draw straws with, was that if that worked, it's invalid because it would already be here, which is hilarious logic, But he asserted that was the final logic that, just removed the whole point from the discussion. It would have already been here if that was true, Chris, and dismisses me, What a joke.
Chris, thanks so much for being with us. Do you want to hold through the break?
Actually, I wanted to ask Ethan that one last question, if you don't mind. That'd be great.
Sure. Chris Farnsworth is with us. Ethan Indigo Smith. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at patriotnecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
Patriotnecklace.com?
Patriotnecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from patriotnecklace.com.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
My name's Clyde, age 59, and I reside in Florence, South Carolina. The doctors diagnosed me as having clogged arteries. It felt like I was carrying heavy concrete blocks around my feet and legs. I started taking Heart and Body Extract as directed. It is less than 3 weeks, and I'm like a young man again. It's unbelievable that an herbal formula can work so fast and so powerfully.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Attention, all men. Are you urinating more frequently? Do you wake up to urinate? Are you having a slower, weaker stream? Don't ignore the warning signs of your aging prostate. Get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Super Beta Prostate is guaranteed to support a more complete emptying of your bladder, a fuller, stronger stream, and less waking at night to urinate.
Super Beta Prostate is a product that I really like. I endorse it. I use it myself. I was very pleasantly surprised that Super Beta Prostate helped me fairly quickly.
Super Beta Prostate is formulated with a natural plant enzyme called beta-cytosterol. It's so powerful, you'd have to take 100 saw palmetto pills to get the same sterols as just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. Don't ignore the warning signs of your aging prostate. Call now to get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Call 1-800-853-1203. That's 1-800-853-1203. 800-853-1203.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting. And they're getting worse. That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays. Exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Class, quick update. You know, tomorrow, Friday, is the day that Matt Stein and Dr. Richard Allen Miller are presenting at the RK Prepper Show in Kansas City, Missouri, at the KCI Expo Center. So if you're interested in attending their workshop tomorrow, Friday, all day, the information's at usaprepares.com. And they're going to stay not only Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, and they're going to be giving other presentations at the RK Prepper Show. I'm going to be joining them on Saturday and Sunday, and I'll be presenting 2 seminars. And one of the seminars is called Government Lies and the Link to Population Elimination. It's 90 minutes. And the next seminar will be preparing what to buy, why buy it, what not to buy, and how to pay for it with tax deductions. So those are the 2 seminars that I'll be presenting, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. We'll be there all day. So Rick Miller and Matt Stein will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. That's the RK Prepper Show at the KCI Expo Center. And that's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Midwest Homesteaders Survival and Preparedness Expo in Christian County, Missouri. That's Saturday and Sunday as well. And that information is on the website, usaprepares.com. So if you're interested in buying supplies, both expos will have them. Survival and preparedness supplies, seminars at both expos. Information's on the website, usaprepares.com. Chris Farnworth in Colorado has joined Ethan Indigo Smith. Chris, you had another question.
Yes. Ethan, since you're so educated about symbolism, I wanted to run this one by you. A friend of mine just yesterday ran this concept by me, and he said that the flag of the United States, it's common knowledge that the gold tassels around the flag you see in a courtroom is actually the maritime version, symbolizing maritime law and all that fun stuff. But he said that the horizontal stripes represent what is called the battle flag version of the American flag. And he said that the original flag of the Republic, called the land flag, actually had vertical stripes on it. Have you ever heard about anything like this?
Oh, well, those are all beautiful observations, and I have not heard about that, but I do know, and it's common knowledge, that we get our flag, we get those stripes from the British East India Company, the Company John. And so they used to fly the flag with a horizontal line, red and white horizontal line. And in the corner, they had the double cross Jack, United Kingdom flag, instead of the stars. And so the idea that we get the stars and stripes from Betsy Ross is a complete myth. We get it from the Company John, which is was the first global institution, if you will. One of them.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the predecessor of the corporate world is the Hudson Bay Company.
Absolutely, and they were endowed with the right of the divine right of kings that the monarchs gave them, right? And so you look at the world, there's three types of institutions: the religious, the state, and the corporate. And that was one of the first times where they put all three together and put them forth into the world to conquer. And there is a big reason why we have the idea in the United States that we separate church and state. But we forgot to put forth separate state and government.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for calling.
Ethan, thanks so much for being with us today. And class, if you'd like to learn more about Ethan Indigo Smith, you can go to usaprepares.com, page 1. It'll take you to a link on Amazon where you can peruse his books. Very inexpensive. Ethan's a deep thinker, and we're delighted to have him as part of usaprepares.com's faculty.
Thank you so much, Vincent. And let's all think about getting rid of nuclear experimentation so that we're all prepared, because that's the one thing that's really devastating.
You're absolutely right. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
My name is Dell, and I live in El Cajon, California. I was concerned about my cholesterol readings because I knew that high cholesterol is related to clogging of the arteries and increases the risk for heart attack and stroke. One day, I heard an ad for Heart and Body Extract, and I was skeptical, but I decided to give it a try. Man, the numbers don't lie.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Ossick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
Everyone all set? Hour number 2 of usaprepares.com. You know, I'm delighted to tell you about your next instructor for this hour. Many years ago, I was in an airport, and I met this man. I happened to sit next to him, and he had long hair, and he appeared very interesting to me. So I sat next to him, and I said, Are you an American Indian? And he said yes, and we struck up this conversation, and then we spent the next several hours together on an airplane. I rearranged my seat so we could be together, and we talked about all kinds of things. I was so fascinated. I asked him if he would consider being on the radio with us, and he has been. His name is Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle, and he is with the Chippewa Nation. Welcome, Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle.
Miigwech. Yes, thank you.
It's great to hear your voice. You know, for hours, you and I were laughing, and, you know, I'm surprised they let us stay on the plane.
Well, you know, it's a good time and a good life, and although, you know, flying today in this day and age is no longer the adventure and excitement it used to be. Flying on airlines today is just a chore. It's a pain in the old hind end because of all the restrictions, guidelines, and then they make the seats smaller and smaller, no leg room, and then you have to pay to take your luggage on board. You know, all of that stuff. It takes the fun and joy out of flying.
It absolutely does. And then, of course, they inspect and detect you with these guys with these blue uniforms, and they want to put their hands in your pants and, you know, and and have a lot of fun with us. I mean, they're in charge of our lives.
Through that security, I mean, because I have long hair and the fact that I'm a Native American, I got the complete shakedown from X-rays to pat-downs and the whole thing. And it just... it took so long, and I almost missed my plane going out of Reno to Denver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me ask you. Do you want to share the story about that you were a person of interest? You were telling me the story. Is that something that you can share on the air?
Well, I'm a person of interest because of my involvement as the principal organizer of the Indian occupation of Alcatraz Island in 1969 to 1971. And from that historic event, we changed the course of history for Native Americans. And the public is unaware of what we accomplished. They just said, they figure a bunch of renegade Indians went out and took over that island for 19 months. But we had a reason for being there. There was the justification that goes all the way back to 1947, right after World War II, when we had over 35,000 Native Americans serve in World War II, including 4 of my older brothers, 2 of my stepfathers. Then at the end of the war, when we fought off the Axis powers of Germany, Japan, and Italy, we found ourselves secretly being checked out by the United States government to be terminated. And so Assistant Commissioner Zimmerman in 1947 was to draw up a list of tribes to be terminated, the sequence of tribes and that list turned out to be the termination policy of 1953, which set out to abolish all reservations in America, abrogate over 356 treaties, and close down the Bureau of Indian Affairs. And by the time Alcatraz was coming along in 1969, the government had terminated 109 Indian reservations and rancherias. And so we were being provoked. If that termination policy had gone through as it was fully designed, there would be no federally recognized tribes today in America. There'd be no treaties. And we would be landless, homeless immigrants or native inhabitants of our own land, because all of our remaining 48 million acres would have been taken over. But we stopped that with Alcatraz. We occupied it starting on November 9th, 1969, and 8 months into the occupation, on June 8, 1970. Just 8 months later, President Nixon officially repudiated the termination policy. We won, but the government didn't let us know. We won the greatest victory, and so because of that, the government declared me an enemy of the state, and that's a title I have to live with until I die, according to one federal official. So I am a person of interest of things that happen around me that I have nothing to do with. And just 2 weeks ago, 3 officials, law enforcement officers from, we don't know what agency, 2 men and a woman with their patches on their jackets and all carrying weapons, they showed up on our property here on the reservation. My wife was out in the front yard doing yard work. I was inside the house watching CNN, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know these people were here, but they started talking to my wife, and they showed pictures of cars, and then they showed a picture of me. And I had this mustache and little Van Dyke beard that I grew just this year, and yet this officer showed that picture to my wife and said, "Do you know this man?" And she looked at that picture, recognized me right away, and she said, "Oh, he died a long time ago." They took a few more pictures outside. They didn't come in the house, and they left. And then the backstory to that, I found out later, is that somebody tried to shoot a judge in Carson City, Nevada, and they even tried to firebomb his house, and I'm a person of interest. So that's why they showed that picture, because in the surveillance camera, they showed this long-haired guy. So I guess he looked like me. Poor guy.
I think so. Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle, now you're 86 years old, isn't that right?
Yep. I can't believe it. That's a miracle in itself. With all the times in my life, I faced life-threatening situations. The 9 lives of Fortunate Eagle. And I managed to survive events that should have killed me a long time ago. But I'm still here, 86 years. And the other great thing about the age is my Shoshone wife and I have been married for 66 years. Now, that's a whole accomplishment in itself in this day and age, when you see such rapid turnovers of men and women in their choice of mates.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, it's got to be very close to being a record, being married to the same person for that many years. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Now you are.
And we met in a boarding school. You know, the infamous boarding schools. Well, that's what people think about Indian boarding schools, but the federally operated boarding schools was the best experience I've ever had. I'm a boarding school kid. After my father died in 1935, 6 of us kids were sent to Pipestone Indian Boarding School in Minnesota, and I spent the next 10 years at that boarding school. And upon graduation, I went to Haskell Institute in Lawrence, Kansas, where I spent another 5 years in boarding schools, and that's where I met my future wife. So everything was good, beautiful, compared to boarding schools, compared to reservational life during the Great Depression was an amazing thing for us to experience, because the poverty and unemployment on the reservations was so horrible. And yet the boarding schools, we had hot and cold running water, electricity, and our own bed, you know, that sort of thing. And 3 meals a day. So it was good. And we got a good education. The standards of education at Pipestone was equal to the standards of the state of Minnesota. And so those people who complain about boarding schools don't know what life really was like. And to me, it was the best years. And my mother was also a boarding school kid at Flanders, South Dakota. And so she got a good education and good training. So boarding schools were, in effect, a very good thing for a lot of us kids that was taken out of poverty and educated and given basic job training skills.
Fortunate Eagle, we've got Miles calling in from Europe. Miles, welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle. When I heard that you are talking about the Alcatraz incident in '69, I almost dropped off my chair here. And I want to tell you why. You had a situation there that is now being taught at elite universities in international law and crisis management, because you forced the United States government with Nixon into a situation where he had only certain options to respond with. I continue after the break.
Sure. Hold that thought. Miles from Europe is with us, Senior USAPrepares.com instructor. Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle's with us, Senior USAPrepares.com instructor. I'm Vin Finelli. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Class, the occupation of Alcatraz was from November 20th, 1969, through June 11th, 1971. And 89 American Indians, who called themselves Indians of all tribes, occupied Alcatraz. And it was forcibly ended by the U.S. government. And Miles has joined us to discuss this. So, Miles, you're saying that this is being taught in elite universities in Europe?
Not only in Europe, it's all over the world, because that incident set a precedent. The Indians that occupying Alcatraz formed a nation on that island. So the United States government, meaning Washington, had to deal in international law if they accepted that nation. So instead of accepting a nation of Indians on Alcatraz, they played it down and said, okay, this is just a regional dispute. It's just something local in San Francisco, and we need to take care of that in civil measures. So the president could not deploy the army or the navy in an international war, but they had to covertly do that, saying, "Oh, this is the police force of the metropolitan area," and it was a very, very intense situation on both sides. There were many losses. As I studied the daughter of the head of the Indians was taken by the U.S. government, and she lost her life with that. So they were doing what they do best. They were playing dirty and tricky.
The one thing that, Vince, what you said is 89 Indians. Well, that we actually started the occupation on November 9th, the night of November 9th. We made two attempts on November 9th, one in the morning and the one in the evening. We dropped off 14 Indians on the island to spend the night there. The next day, the government moved in and removed the Indians. And then on November 20th, we came back in force with 80 Indians at that time. And once we took it with 80 Indians, then reinforcements start arriving on the island from other Indians. And by Thanksgiving, we had 400 Indians on that island. And so this was an important thing, because when I organized Indians of all tribes, I wanted Alcatraz not to be a local issue or a regional issue, but a national issue. And it turned out to be international. So I gave the title Indians of All Tribes, and I wrote the proclamation of Alcatraz. I signed it, Indians of All Tribes. I didn't want to take personal recognition for it, because this was to be an Indian movement, which it turned out to be. And now it's a matter of history, and that's why the government declared me enemy of the state.
Well, and China accepted your nation, so even there you put more pressure on the U.S. government, making you even more interesting, more interesting person.
Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle, how difficult was it to stay the course on Alcatraz for so many months?
Well, the government used a lot of covert activities. They infiltrated the occupation with agents, FBI and others, to disrupt the occupation and to discredit us. They burned the warden's house and other structures on the island and then blamed it on the Indians because it was a propaganda war to a great extent. And when I wrote the proclamation of Alcatraz, we used satire and humor as a weapon. When we were planning to take over the island, I said we would be warriors without weapons. Because if we took weapons on that island, we would have been wiped out by the government in one day. So we used satire and humor, and we got the public on our side. They got laughing along with us because we poked fun at the government for what they were doing. And we were winning the propaganda war, so that's why the government had to do everything they could to discourage the occupation, like taking away the water bars, 250,000-gallon water bars.
Hold that thought.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water's vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levan, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trust has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.
Class, Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle is with us. Miles in Europe is with us. And, I had the question about how difficult was it to feed up to 400 Indians on the island, food and water?
Well, because we won the support of the public. The liberal people of San Francisco Bay Area turned out in so many different ways. They brought their boats out loaded with supplies and food and turkeys. The Coast Guard attempted a blockade of Alcatraz for 3 days. But the boat people of San Francisco just outmaneuvered those guys, and finally the Coast Guard gave up. And so food and clothing, blankets and everything were brought out to the island, along with books and everything. It was just an amazing phenomenon of the public support. And to go back a little on the history of the island, Alcatraz prison was closed. A federal prison was closed in 1963, and in 1968, the government declared Alcatraz to be surplus property, and they gave the San Francisco Board of Supervisors the authority to dispose of the island to the highest bidder, and Lamar Hunt of Texas was a front runner he wanted to take that island and make a condominiums and all kinds of fancy things out there, but it would have been a private island. And so once we took it, the government withdrew the surplus property aspect of it, and in 1972, they made Alcatraz part of the National Park System. We were never given credit for saving that island for the American public. Today, it is one of the largest tourist attractions in San Francisco, bringing in 1,300,000 people each year to that island. And the people that get on the boat to go out there pay $26 each. Mm-hmm. Well, $26, hell, that's more than they paid for Manhattan Island. So I look at history in a distorted view because I can compare historic events to what takes place today. And so Alcatraz is now a national park and a tourist attraction, a big one.
Please let me jump in here because I have to let you go in a second. What you did there was actually you were outlining the blueprint of where the U.S. government is navigating in lawful means, and you even brought out the problem with the so-called alloidial titles in law. And that's why it made so many ripples in universities, and that you're today in the curriculum, especially in law, crisis management, negotiation, and politics. And so I'm very happy, and I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity now to just have a couple of sentences with you. But I pay you my kudos. Bo, because what you did was outstanding. It was something that today is rarely found, that you were standing in for your principles, that you were standing in for your people, that you were pulling together, and that you had a common goal to reach, whether you liked each other or not, but you were standing it through. So I thank you for that. And with that, I'll let you go.
Miles, I just want to say I sent you a message about tomorrow. It's so if you could let me know, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, I talk to you in a little bit.
Great, thank you so much. That was Miles.
Thank you, gentlemen. Bye bye.
That was Miles from Europe. Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle, you and I talked off the air about some horrific events. And let's call it long, L-O-N-G, pork, P-O-R-K. Would you care?
This is a story that young ears should never hear, because it is one of the most brutal type of events that has been kept secret for 500 years. Soon after, and the long pork issue is something that the American public and Europeans, they're unaware of what was taking place on the island of Hispaniola shortly after Columbus claimed discovery of our country. And Columbus was required to send gold back to King and Queen of Spain to pay for the voyage, but he couldn't find the kind of gold on Hispaniola. So what was taking place in Europe, and what takes place every 20 years in Europe at that time, was famines, massive famines and die-offs of people for starvation. And so what Columbus's guys did was start killing Indians wholesale on the island. Almost 1 million Indians were killed in a period of 20 years, and they were put in barrels, pickled and smoked in every kind of way that they preserved meat, and shipped back to Europe to be sold as long pork to feed the starving masses of Europe. This is a event. I wrote a screenplay about this called Father Santiago, but Hollywood wouldn't touch it. It's just too much, because I went on from there from Hispaniola to the conquest of Mexico and Montezuma and all on from there. But it was brutal, extremely brutal. But cannibalism is not new. It's not unusual. I mean, right in America, we have the Donner Party, where starvation set in and they had to eat human flesh to survive. The plane crash in the Andes, the same thing occurred there, starvation and cannibalism. So this is nothing new to human beings, is to eat one another. And that's a sad tale, of course.
Yeah, but California doesn't invade Mexico and wholesale capture, kill, pickle, and smoke Mexicans for food. It's unacceptable.
Oh gosh, I don't know. There's such a bad history of the United States being conquered by good God-fearing Christians. And the Pope of the Vatican gave the right of Christian nations of Europe to come to the New World and claim discovery of different portions of our country. And so our whole hemisphere was divided by Portuguese, Spanish, English, and others, and French. And it just goes on and on with the doctrine of discovery. The Pope and the Vatican had no authority to give away lands they never even seen, or to take possession of the people, Native Americans. We were subject to the control of every nation that claimed discovery of our country. So we were divided up, and so we had to fight back as best we could, but with the modern weapons of the Europeans versus the bow and arrow, it just didn't work.
We're pretty destructive. Our government is really destructive. And Fortunate Eagle, how many Indians would you estimate were killed by our government?
Well, when Columbus first came, let's say in the pre-Columbian days in what is now the United States, there was estimated 10 to 15 million Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And with the genocide, the slaughter, well, there's 50 tribes that were totally annihilated, extinct today. 50 tribes totally wiped out, every man, woman, and child. Ishi, the last of the Yanni, is a good example of that. But by the turn of the 20th century, lo, the poor Indian, the vanishing race, there was only 250,000 left. Now, the Holocaust occurred in the United States big time, and yet the government does not want to acknowledge that, and history books don't want to acknowledge that for our children. And when things like this occurred, and because of Alcatraz and being dubbed enemy of the state, the government went out to get me under a covert COINTELPRO policy to misdirect and to neutralize the leadership who can electrify and unify the nationalist hate movement. So that made me a victim, if you will, certainly a target of that covert military or government policy against people like me, and yet the government or the history books don't talk about the COINTELPRO policy. There is a lot of covert action that the government exercised against Native Americans that the public will never know about. And so that's why I think the government wanted to neutralize me, so they put me out of business in California. I was teaching at the university, California State University at Hayward. I had my own company. I owned my own business. And I was chairman of the United Bay Area Council of American Indian Affairs and the director of the Intertribal Council of California and the organizer of Indians of all tribes of Alcatraz. So I was very busy in those days, but the government forced me into exile by destroying my company, by getting me fired from my job at the university. So these are, and I never violated any laws. That's the one. If I had, I would have been in prison today.
What you're saying, Fortunate Eagle, is leaving me speechless. It's absolutely outrageous. And you know, I've met you. We've chatted one-on-one for hours. I've never heard a word of hate come out of your mouth. Not one. Not one.
Well, I was always a man.
We'll be right back. We're going up bugs, worms, and raised crickets for food. Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
Ah.
When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with the medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Does being over 40 make you feel like half the man you used to be? Do you feel more tired, out of shape, not in the mood like you used to be? Thanks to an exclusive formula, you can help boost testosterone levels safely and naturally. Introducing Ageless Male, a life-changing supplement for men tested to help increase testosterone levels.
You'll notice a boost in your energy levels. Workouts work, sex life improves. It's like a light switch goes on.
Try Ageless Male risk-free if you would like to experience what taking Ageless Male can feel like. Support for healthy, normal testosterone levels, healthy energy, and increased performance, and more romance when you want it.
Call 1-800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Class Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle's with us, and you're learning some history that is just absolutely not taught in school. And if you're interested in learning more, Dr. Adam Fortunate Eagle has written 2 books, and one of them I'd like to mention. It's called, and this is the title of the book. It's a long title. And there's a link to this book on Amazon.com at usaprepares.com. It's titled Scalping Columbus and Other Damn Indian Stories, Truths, Half-Truths, and Outright Lies. Scalping Columbus and Other Damn Indian Stories, Truths, Half-Truths, and Outright Lies.
You know what happened, Vince? I've been in self-imposed exile now on the Fallon Indian Reservation in Nevada for 38 years, and during this exile, I've taken to be an author, and I've written a total of 5 books. 2 about Alcatraz, 1 about Pipestone, Indian boarding school, and my latest is Scalping Columbus and Other Damn Indian Stories. And 3 of those books have been published by the University of Oklahoma Press, a very prestigious educational institute in Oklahoma. So I've had such an incredible life of experiences. I thought before I die, I better write that material down, because if I die without writing it, then a large chunk of Native American history would have been lost with me. So I had to write it and get it documented before things happened to me anymore.
Fortunate Eagle, I plan on buying a copy on Amazon. May I send it to you and have it autographed?
Oh, of course. I'd be honored. Be flattered.
Here's what I'd like to do. I will make a CD of this broadcast and send it to you with the book, so that you'll have a copy of this broadcast. And I'm looking forward to that. And so, what made you call it truths, half-truths, and outright lies?
Well, because it's a whole series of short stories. Some of them are absolutely true, like my discovery of Italy on September 23rd, 1973. I went over there with my wife, and I planted a spear in the soil of Italy, claiming it for the American Indian people. Now, that's true. And I did scalp Columbus at Aquatic Park in San Francisco during the reenactment of Columbus Day in 1968. So those are true stories. But the fictional stories about Newt Gingrich, well, that's just pure bullshit. And what I've done, I'm a very honest author. In the index of my book, you'll find the percentage of bullshit for all of my stories, whether they're truth, half-truths, or outright lies. So I'm a very honest author.
We're going to have to find another word for for that.
Why? Are you so politically correct? You can't say bullshit?
Right. You can't. What was it? Okay, so we don't have them anymore? Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Dr. Adam Fortune Eagle, you can't say those words on the air. And I think our engineer has taken you off the air. No, you can't do that. And the reason is this is a nationally syndicated broadcast, and it's picked up on AM and FM and satellite, YouTube, and so forth. So my understanding is that we edited that out, so you won't be hearing those words. Class, we've got 2 prepper shows this week. At Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Arcade Prepper Show in Kansas City. Link on the website. And the Homesteaders Expo in Ozark, Missouri. And that's on Saturday and Sunday. I'll be at the Arcade Prepper Show Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be talking about how you can use tax deductions to pay for your preparedness supplies, what to buy and what not to buy. Rick Miller and Matt Stein will be with us on Friday. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. preparedness.com. That's USAPREPARES.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trust has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218.